So if you were in a dating situation, what question would you ask to identify either a toxic person or a narcissistic person?
So for me, I look for someone that's genuine. Something that a narcissist doesn't like to do is give too much information. So for instance, if I said to you, "Oh, Gary, like, tell me about your childhood." And you're like, "Oh, to be honest, it's not somewhere I want to go right now. Happy to talk about it in a few months, but right now, not really." I would have a problem with that because what I'm doing as a narcissist is I'm looking for information that I can use against you later on. If you had opened up to me and you said, "Would you know what? I had a mother that was incredibly abusive. My father was an alcoholic." I'd go, "Oh my God, the same. I can't believe it. I've never met anyone that, has had the same experience as me." And all of a sudden you're thinking, shit, I've got a connection here. Like how has this happened? I can't believe it. I found someone that's going to understand me. No, it's false.
You
So
literally lie to get through. Wow.
yeah, the whole thing is a show.
Yeah.
So, but the problem is when you're someone that's genuine and you want connection and you're looking for that, you don't always sit there and think, "I wonder if they're lying." I really like this. You want to take people for face value,
Yeah.
but narcissists ask a lot of questions so that they can then mirror you back.
Right. Okay. Which is kind of weird because my brain's sitting there going, well, okay, I've been in the mortgage industry since I was 19 years old. I was corporate trained. So it's like, Gary, you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. You taught basic principles of NLP for mirroring and matching. We sit across each other.
Yeah.
If I wanted to in a sales environment, I would cross my legs right now. And then and you can do this in a restaurant with somebody.
Yes.
In an NLP sense, you can sit across a room from somebody else and slowly but surely, if you pick up your glass at the same time they do, and mirror someone across the room, and then get it subconsciously, they can start to actually mirror you. So you'll move and they will move.
Yeah.
So in that circumstance, I'm kind of getting the impression that that person has learned how to do that of their own accord and is then utilizing that to their advantage.
Yeah, and I love that you said that because something I get asked all the time is, is someone born a narcissist or are they made a narcissist? All of those behaviors are learned behaviors. They have to learn them from somewhere. So if you have a narcissistic parent and you have the same personality type, chances are that's who you're going to become because you learn their behaviors, you learn their abusive ways, their manipulative ways, their brainwashing techniques. And it's not like you read a book and go, "This is what I want to learn." It's human nature, right? So, yeah.
Crazy. So in going on to the kind of the parent side of things, then if you've learned these behaviors from your parents, you obviously, well, most people, right, that's obviously a generalization. A lot of people, half the people, 60%, whatever it is, they're going to have 2 parents. So how would someone end up adopting more of the narcissistic traits than potentially the parent who, I don't want to say victim, I don't know if that's the right word you would use, but is that, how do they end up suddenly favoring one over the other and taking on more of those traits than the other person's traits? Surely they would feel the push and pull, like as a child. Again, you would sit there and you would go, well, okay, this one's really sensitive, I would imagine, very forgiving, always saying no, and then the other parent is more domineering and controlling. And as you say, over time, as the child gets over, they would probably start to notice more of these things because they've got more awareness. So
yeah, and again, this comes down to personality types that we are born with.
Yeah.
So if you're someone that's very agreeable and sensitive, you are going to reject anything that's seen as difficult, that's seen as aggressive, because you're sensitive to it. However, if you're a difficult personality type, you're not going to be sensitive to much.
Yeah.
And, you can look at 2 children that are raised in the same household. Let's say both narcissistic parents. One isn't a narcissist and the other is. Why is that? Well, it's personality type. If you've got someone that's, like I said, sensitive, agreeable, that's on that very high empathetic scale, that is going to damage them to a whole nother level. If you've got someone that's difficult, they can put up with the punches and they can put up with the abuse, but they develop that narcissistic shell as a result of that.